Peter Bainham's going through tonight's mail. Peter, what are you doing in here? You're supposed to be going through the mail next door.
Yeah, I got a box for you.
Is it for me?
Yeah, it's addressed to you.
Let me have a look at it then.
Well, I can open it if you want.
No, I want it. It's addressed to me.
If you want, yeah. It's your show, mate.
Yeah, now look. Okay, let's have a look at this. Awesome.
What have they sent you now?
Jesus.
What is it?
All right, look at that box. It's about, is it 10 by 8 by 8? What do you guess is in there?
Some idiot's going to have made a Chris Morris doll or something.
No.
What?
Look at that.
No! That's ridiculous.
That is real. Hang on.
What the hell is that? That's just tortoise.
It's a real tortoise. Hang on. Let me put it down. It's alive. Okay, there's a letter in here, and it says...
That's...
Hang on. It says, Dear Chris, please find enclosed my tortoise. Could you autograph it and send it back by return of post? Yours, Tudor Sykes.
You can't send a tortoise through the post.
You can. Well, he just did, and it's alive. Look at it.
What a sick man. Who sent it?
A guy called Tudor Sykes.
You're a sick man. Are there holes in the box? I mean, you can't send a tortoise through the post.
Look, it's alive.
Yeah.
Hang on, hold it there. Its head's moving.
What is that?
Have you ever wondered what's going on inside the shell?
Well, I remember as a kid, I'm just a bit shook up. I mean, as a kid, I remember that I used to think that inside a tortoise was like a little man driving like a little car, like a chieftain tank or something like that.
It's not like that at all. It's actually sort of a self-contained, sort of a skin-contained unit, which actually goes inside the shell. They can actually come out of the shell.
Shut up.
In the world. They can. In fact, you can slip them out of the shell.
Yeah.
There's a technique you can slip them out of the shell. I'll show you.
No.
Okay,
Look, Chris!
Hang on. Right. Yeah, okay, look at this.
Bloody hell. Chris, you can't do that.
Now look at that.
Chris, you've killed it.
No, I haven't. Look, it's still alive. It's just sprawled on the paper here.
I'm sorry, I'm not into...
It's just sprawled on the paper here, just like a wrinkly, dry, like an old man's hand.
Can you put it back in?
Do you know what the other thing with these things is? That they come out of their shells like this in the wild, and they go either swimming or foraging up trees for grapes. Yeah. And they've got a thing like a cat where if they fall out of the sky, they put their feet down and they land properly. It's like if you've ever thrown a cat upside down, it'll spin round in the air and land upside down. Land the right way up.
No.
And it can do it with a tortoise. You try.
You can't. You try. Well, you try. You're the zoologist.
It's a wildlife thing.
What, you can just throw it up in the air
just
and it'll
lob
land?
it in the air. Go on.
What, just like throw it up and it'll land?
Yeah.
Right, I'll chuck it over
Just
there.
lob it, an underarm lob.
Okay, one sec. Yeah, very good.
Peter.
It's landed on its back.
Peter, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that, should you?
This is really embarrassing.
You shouldn't have done that. Why did you do that? Why did you throw a tortoise across the room?
You told me to, Chris.
I didn't tell you. Obviously, I was joking.
You said. I know you've got a degree in zoology.
Yeah,
and you told me that it would land like a cat.
You better go and pick it up. And while you're going over there, you better work out how you're going to phrase your letter to Tudor Sykes explaining that you've ruined his tortoise. I tell you what, Peter, if you put the microphone down to it, it is still breathing, isn't it? Yeah. Hang on. Let's just put the mic down to it. Hang on. Yeah. Yeah, that's breathing. Superman, the hidden track on Life's a Rich Pageant. Peter, you're pretty upset about that tortoise, aren't you? Yeah. Why are you sitting down there by it?
I'm quite embarrassed. Well, I'm just trying to be with him.
Okay, here's the deal. Do you want it to go back in its shell?
I don't really believe it can.
It can still go back in its shell. It's still alive. It's still breathing. What do you do if you put the shell across the other side of the studio and point the tortoise at it and persuade it to go into the shell? No, do it. Just put the thing across there.
Okay.
And then you've got to persuade it in there without touching it. You just got to point the tortoise at it and persuade it in there.
Put it in.
No, you've got.
So I've got to get it across there, but I can't touch it.
Yeah, you can't touch it. Okay, in your own time.
Listen, mate.
Listen, mate.
It's a shell down there. It's a shell.
Peter, he's not going to understand that, is he?
Well, no, he's not going to understand.
No, the point is, he's not going to understand you because you were coming on all nasty, and now you're coming on all nice.
Well, I mean,
you've got to be consistent. You've got to be consistent with animals.
Yeah.
So be angry at him.
Angry?
Yeah, persuade him properly.
Go on!
No,
Go on, get in the shell!
Not shouting. Shouting's boorish. You've got to insult him into the shell.
Insult a tortoise into the shell?
Yeah.
What are you? What are you? What are you? You're pathetic. You are just rubbish.
It's insulting a tortoise.
We should just throw you away. We should just throw you away.
Peter, but what kind of bastard are you shouting at the tortoise like that? First of all, you throw it across the room.
You told me to insult it.
Come on. Would you, if your grandmother was ill, would you try and insult her better?
No, of course I wouldn't.
To be nice to it. It's an animal. You just threw it across the room. If you want it back in the shell.
Be nice to it.
Yeah, be nice.
Now you're saying be nice to it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Go on then. In your shell. Go on.
That's nicer. That's nice.
It's been sick now.
Peter, I'm going to have to phone a vet about that. You throw it across the room, you shout at it, and you make it sick. Ollie, can you get on the phone?
I didn't break it open.
You did.
You broke it open.
It was you that did it. Get on the phone and see if you can get a zoo or a vet or somebody to sort this out, could you? You sick man.
I'm going, I think.
You better stick around and accept the consequences. Okay, well, if they're not in at Chester Zoo, try London Zoo. Okay, what we do, it is still breathing, I think, if we can just put the mic down to it. Yeah. So, we'll give ourselves 10 minutes to get a vet, because I don't think it's going to last much longer. A vet or a zoo. I think there's a bit more. Yeah, there's one more exchange from him. Meanwhile, we're trying to get hold of this vet or zoo. New Arrested Development, Goody Goody Rap LP. This is Fountain of My Youth. Alright. Okay, I think we got through to London Zoo. Yeah, Ollie's just busting through reception now. Someone at London Zoo at the moment. We'll try and get through to the reptile house. Now, we got through to we're just filling time. Good to get through to a zoo. Okay, so what we got on the line now is we busted through reception and somewhere in the reptile house or something. Hang on.
Hello, reptile house.
Hello, I wonder if you could help me out with a problem I have with the tortoise.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it was sent to me through the post.
Oh, right.
And I'm wondering how I can comfort it in its circumstances.
Why was it sent to you through the post?
Oh, somebody wanted me to sign it.
To sign it?
Sign it for them. Put a name on it.
It's probably dehydrated, and so if you put it in a shallow bowl, like a washing up bowl.
Yep.
With a couple of inches of water just tilted up.
I'm not sure that if in its current state it might not be a bit porous and let in some of the water into itself.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't do.
Well, you see, it's been taken out of its shell.
Oh, right.
Not by me.
It's been taken out of its shell?
Yeah, a colleague of mine called Peter Bainham took it out of its shell. And I tried to stop him. There was nothing I could do, really.
I don't really quite understand. I mean...
Well, I don't understand how anybody could be that foolish. But what happened was he took it out of its shell. And I'm not sure if the shell can be put back around it safely. It might not fit, because it might have moved some of the bones. But it's still alive. It just looks like I don't know, like an old man's hand.
Yeah, but it needs its shell for survival. And the chances
I told him that. It is shocking.
Yeah.
Peter Bainham is the guy that did it, and he's disowned responsibility and left it to me to try and pick up the pieces, and it wasn't me.
Right. Well, if you just, like I say, just put it in a box, just keep it quiet, don't do anything really to it.
What would you do to a guy, like the guy who pulls it out of its shell and throws it across the room and it lands on his back?
Well, it'd probably prosecute him, to be honest.
Peter Bainham should be prosecuted.
Yeah. I certainly would.
He's sick. He's a sicko. He's upset me, and it's not even my thing.
Yeah.
And he did it. Peter Bainham did it. Took it out of its shell in front of me, and I was,
Chris Morris did it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What happened to a guy? What does his parents do to him?
Yeah, Yeah, I don't...
And then he said that it, like a cat, you know, if you throw a cat and it lands on its feet, he said that the same would happen with a tortoise.
Well...
And he then threw it across the room and it just landed on its back.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just certainly ring them now because it's just, the whole thing is just, to me, is quite shocking.
Okay, I better get on because the thing's kind of like looking grim.
Yeah, all right then.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Thanks, good evening to you. Okay, so what we'll do during this is we'll try and dig up a vet. Can you try and get onto a vet, Ollie? Get a vet for this. Peter, you're going to suffer for this.
You are, mate.
No, they're already after you.
You were going to suffer.
Peter Bainham.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ollie's found a vet practice which is opening, or which is open at this time. It's open at this time of night. Yeah. Okay, so we're through now. With someone on the line? Yeah? Hello?
Hello.
So who am I through to?
Sorry?
Who am I through to?
The veterinary surgery?
I need advice from somebody. I've got a tortoise in a bad situation here. It got sent to me through the post.
The tortoise?
Yeah, and my colleague basically took it out of its shell. It's still alive now. I've got it here in front of me, and it's just like, you know, the skin is intact and everything, but it hasn't got its shell on.
Have you got any transfusions there?
What?
Well, obviously you have to take this animal to a veterinary surgery where they have the right equipment.
Transfusions? What, on a tortoise?
Of course.
It doesn't need a transfusion. I mean, it's not bleeding.
Oh, you know what it needs then, do you?
No, I don't know what it needs, but you can tell...
Well, I'm just trying to tell you that you need to be seen by a veterinary surgeon.
I need to be seen by a veterinary surgeon. What about the tortoise?
You probably wouldn't have the right equipment to treat the tortoise.
All right, but
the best thing would be if you took it straight to a surgery.
But I want to do first aid on it now, because otherwise I think the guy's going to go.
Well, there isn't anything you can personally do there.
But geez, it's been taken out of its shell by Peter Bainham, not by me. He threw it across the room and landed on his back, you know, and he's been pushing it around.
It sounds horrific to me.
It is horrific. It's upset me. It's upset me, and I want to know what to do with it.
If you just hold the line, now try and get one of the vets for you.
Thanks.
If you just bear with me.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm a veterinary surgeon. How can I help you?
Right. Listen, I've got a problem with the tortoise here.
Right.
I don't know how much your colleague has filled you in.
No, she's just gone out to the front again. What's the story with him?
Well, okay, basically, somebody sent the little guy through the post to me, which is a stupid thing to do, right?
Right.
And they wanted me to paint the name on the back because I'm a sign painter.
Right.
And while I was out at tea, my colleague was just taking the thing out, and his curiosity got the better of him. And I have to say, his sick mind got the better of him too, and he took it out of its shell.
Can you bring it in?
Well, I can bring it in, but I'm worried that it's going to go before I bring it, you know?
Well, unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it.
Sure. Well, I know it's difficult. I know, but listen, you can imagine me. I got this thing in front of me now. This guy, Peter Bainham, is his name, has disappeared. He's like, you know, disowned all responsibility, left me carrying this thing, and you know, it's freaking me out because it's just a tortoise without a shell. It's like an old man's hand, and it's moving around, but I don't know if it's going to survive. And I mean,
it would probably have to be euthanized, put to sleep.
No.
But I can't say any more without looking at it. So.
Well, sure. I mean, can't you perfuse it or something? Your administrator said something about a transfusion.
Well, we'll have to have a look at it. I mean,
could you give it a shell transfusion?
No. Bring everything in, and then we'll have a look.
God, but I know you people. You just want my money.
Not at all.
Will you do it for free?
Look, I don't run this business. You know, I can't make any comments about that.
God damn it! It's a suffering animal. What are you saying? You're saying that let the animal suffer unless I can pay for it? What about advice over the phone?
Well, the advice is that you have to bring it in.
Jesus Hector Christ, man.
Yeah, well, there's nothing that we can do.
Yeah, but this thing's writhing in front of me.
You have to bring it in.
Well, why?
It sounds like it has to be
just to pay you? Put to sleep?
Not at all.
I could do that myself, couldn't I?
It's very difficult with tortoises. It's not like a cat or a dog.
I mean, it's a small thing, you know. There's a number of ways. Like, I feel like getting Peter Bainham, the guy that did it, back and blindfolding him and making him pogo around the room until he lands on it.
Well, that doesn't sound very wise. Bring it in and we'll sort it out.
But I'm trying to end the suffering here. I can't take much more of this.
Well, I'm afraid I can't help you.
Okay, well, listen, how can I put it down myself? If I've got to do that, how can I do that?
Put it in the freezer.
What?
That's the only way to do it.
When it...
Because they're cold-blooded animals, and he'll just slow down, his metabolism will slow down, he'll go to sleep.
Put the tortoise in a freezer?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way to euthanize
But
them.
without its shell, it'll get cold real fast.
That's exactly what you want.
Okay. Well, if I don't get it round, I've put it in the freezer.
Right.
Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Freezer? See what you get me into. Now you have made me get to a situation where I've got to put a tortoise in a freezer.
Yeah,
you need to say for yourself?
No.
Bet you're proud. Peter, you better come here with that letter that you're going to write to Tudor. Have you written the letter of apology saying that you've done it? I'm not going to get it. I disguised my identity with a mock American accent. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
I took the precaution. You're going to get it.
Yeah, of course.
So what have you got for your letter, your complaint letter?
Yeah. Dear Tudor.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid Chris Morris may have ruined your tortoise in an unforeseen way.
No. You just got to say this. You got to say, Dear Tudor, what do you expect?
You want to write this down?
Yeah. What do you expect if you send your tortoise through the post? You're going to get it smashed and tortured by me. Sign it, Peter Bainham. By me. Sign Peter Bainham. Okay?
Okay.
Got to thank Ollie for his sterling work on the phones tonight. No thanks at all to Peter Bainham for smashing the tortoise.